Do you want to make your first 100K faster or slower? I know, sounds like a dumb question, right? But the reality is that most entrepreneurs, myself included, take a slow and winding path to reaching their first six figures. And the reason for that is because most of us don't have anyone in our lives that can show us that faster path to success. But there's actually a two-step formula that practically guarantees that you're going to hit 100K. And whether they realize it or not, the entrepreneurs that hit 100K the fastest are all using this formula. And you can use it too, but the thing is, if you miss any of the steps along the way, the whole thing falls apart. So make sure you watch to the end of this video. In the spring of 2015, I became a dad. My son Cooper was born and my entire life changed, but not for the reason that you think. And for this story to make sense, I got to take you back 2 years earlier when I was in law school in 2013 and started my first online business. And it was really just kind of like a side hustle. I was just trying to make some money because I had a lot of student debt and I saw an opportunity. And when I graduated and I took the bar and became an attorney, I was very fortunate to work for an oil company where I got to actually work from home most of the time. And so I continued with my business to make a little extra money because, like I said, I had a lot of student debt. But that spring, when my son was born, I was getting ready to move to a different job, like a normal, traditional corporate law kind of job. And pretty soon after my wife went off maternity leave, he went to the hospital. And he's fine. He actually just interrupted my recording here a second ago, banging on the door, asking me how to play Nintendo. But what happened, he went to the hospital and the doctor told us if you put him in daycare, he's going to get sick again. And it's really dangerous. So you probably shouldn't do that. And so that changed everything for me because without even thinking about it, I realized that I needed to stay where I was. I needed to stay in this career, in this job that allowed me to work from home so I could take care of my son. And I became a stay-at-home dad. The problem was that job didn't really earn as much money as I wanted to or really needed to with all of the debt and everything I had. So at that moment, I decided that I needed to take my online businesses much more seriously. And now I had my hands full working for this oil company, taking care of a newborn baby, and trying to turn my businesses into bigger income producers than they already were. And that pressure in my life forced me to find the fast lane and to really discover this two-step formula for reaching six figures as quickly as possible and doing it over and over and over. And so I want to teach this to you today because I know that no matter what your life situation is, no matter how busy you are, that if you use this formula, you're going to be able to leave your job, replace your income, and start this online business that's going to allow you to produce an incredible income and lifestyle at a much faster pace. The first piece of the formula is pricing, and this is the thing that most entrepreneurs screw up, and it's why they go a year or even a full 2 years before they consistently start making money online, let alone reaching what they would consider like a successful income for their online business, that goal of income that they set out to create when they got started. And it's really important that you get there as quickly as possible because that long journey is one of the main reasons that most people don't make it as coaches or course creators in this online space because they work so hard and they hustle so much and they don't ever see the reward, and so they feel like they're not going to make it, or they just succumb to the outside pressures that we deal with from all of the people in your life that don't understand this journey you're on, don't understand your vision and what you're doing, and so they're pressuring you to go back to your career or go back to school or whatever it is, or just questioning like, why are you doing this? It's not working. And they quit. And I don't want that for you. So I want to make sure that you get pricing done in a way that's going to allow you to hit your revenue goals as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here on the screen And I'm going to break down two really common pricing models, what we call low ticket and high ticket. And we would define low ticket as really just about anything under $1,000, because low ticket offers, you have to market them in a certain way. You sell them in a certain way. Whereas high ticket, we'll say $1,000 and above, you're going to market that a certain way. So they're different strategies and they have different conversion rates, which just means like how many people it takes to get a sale. So we're going to dive into it. So a really typical low ticket sale is going to be $200, right? It's that $197 course or product, right? So we're going to put that down here, $200. And we're going to do versus our high ticket product, really common, $2,000 price point. This is a great price point because it's something that most people will invest in pretty easily. They don't have to think about it or talk to a business partner or spouse to make that decision the way they would with higher price points, like in your 10K range and things like that. So when it comes to marketing at these two price points, the $200 low ticket price point is going to have a conversion rate of 0.5%. And that just means that like the mass marketing methods that we use to sell low ticket products, your email launches, social media pushes, challenges, like those kind of things, or really like the automated evergreen ones that we're talking about, like webinars, those convert at about 0.5%. And what that means is that you need about 200 leads in order to get one sale, okay? So if 200 leads equals one sale, then that means you need 200 leads to make $200, all right? Now, let's contrast that with the higher ticket option at $2,000. We use different marketing methods for that. And so the high ticket marketing methods that we use generally as a baseline are going to be about 2% conversion rate. And so what that really means is that you only need 50 leads to get a sale. And so if you have the same 200 leads, you aren't making one sale. You're making 4 sales because you only need 50 to get that first sale. And 4 sales is going to be equal to, well, we'll make that a money sign there. That's going to be equal to $8,000. And if you don't know this yet, $8,000 is about $100,000 a year, right? That's the run rate you need to be a 6-figure business owner. Now, how many sales do you need at the low ticket rate to get the same amount? You are going to need 40 sales in order to get to that 8K milestone that we want to earn $100,000 a year. So now that you've seen this, I want you to think about your business and how hard you work to get 200 leads, or how much you're paying in Facebook ads or for some other paid advertising to get those 200 leads. I think you can see how charging a higher ticket price for your course, your coaching program is going to allow you to get more bang for your buck, either for the dollar you're spending on advertising or the time that you're spending generating those organic leads. And how, since you're going to be able to get more sales at a higher price, it's going to allow you hit that 100K mark much, much faster. But I also realize that you might be like, Mike, I don't know that I can charge that much. Or I don't know if what I do is worth that much. Maybe there's just some fear around that. So what I want you to do when this video is over is check out my other video called The Truth About Pricing, because I go way deeper into this topic in there, and it's really going to help you figure out what your pricing should be for your offer. And it's going to take you through 4 mindset shifts that you really need to go through to understand pricing and being a successful online business owner, both in the short term and the long term. Now, let's talk about the second part of our formula, which is focus. We've already seen how pricing has such a big impact on our ability to hit our goal. But when you add focus to the equation, you're going to be able to get that first 100K so much faster. And the reason for that is because we are going to take the most direct path to 100,000 that we possibly can. And that means that you need to simplify your business and avoid distractions. You don't want to take that slow wandering road. You want to go directly to the goal. And as a course creator or as a coach, that means that you need to focus on one offer and sell it in just one way and get really, really good at that. It also means that you don't need all the distractions in your business. You don't need a website. You don't need a fancy funnel. You don't need to worry about automations or anything like that. The way that we're going to sell it as simple as possible to get to where we want to go as quickly as possible is we're going to generate leads. We're going to have conversations with those leads, and we're going to book them onto a Zoom call so that way we can find out their actual situation. where they're at, where they want to go, what their goal is, the big obstacle that they've run into, and whether you can help them get there. And if you can, you're going to offer them into your program, and that's how you're going to get the sale. Now, this is where most people screw up, because you're going to get frustrated because it's not going to work, because you need to go out there and try and fail and learn from it and improve over time. And during that time, you're going to see all these other shiny objects, all of these other flavor of the month strategies, like creating an ebook or doing a challenge, all these things that you could do to sell. But you have to put the blinders on. You have to ignore them and stay on the direct path. The first method is what I use to grow my agency into a 7-figure business, and I call it the group method. And it basically means you're going to go out and find Facebook groups where your ideal client hangs out. Other people's groups. I'm not saying start your own. You go to other people's groups. And then what you do is you just become a very active and present member inside of that community. You're going to engage in the comments. You're going to answer and share your expertise whenever you have the time by giving really in-depth answers or recording a Loom video to answer that person, so that way you are giving the best response to their questions. And you're also just going to be a regular old member. So you're going to ask questions. You're going to participate in the comments and joke around and get to know these people. And whatever it is that you're good at, you're going to help as many people in these groups as possible with it, whether they are your ideal client or not. Because you never know when one of those people that you help that isn't going to hire you ends up becoming a referral partner, or ends up and sends you a bunch of business down the line. Or they might just end up introducing you to other people to grow your network and create other opportunities for you down the line. The other way you can generate leads is create content for your ideal client and put it on YouTube. And this is the biggest thing that I regret not doing when I first started my business 10 years ago. I wish that I would have gone and created videos that answered simple questions my ideal clients had and explained to them how to overcome their most common problems and put them on YouTube. That way I could grow my audience, grow my email list, and start generating leads on autopilot. But I didn't do that then, so I'm doing it now. But I recommend that you do this because, one, it's going to build your audience over time, but it's also going to create this foundational content that you can use in that group method or anytime you talk to anybody else, to be able to say, if they have a question, they need help, you can go, hey, I got this resource. And you've put together this really well thought out, great video that shows them how to solve that problem. And then the last way is you can start using Facebook ads. When you get to a point that you can start paying to get leads, and that higher ticket price is really going to help with that. It's really going to make your business take off. And if you can combine the use of organically going in and becoming a well-known member of different groups where your ideal clients hang out and just spend time in there every day, and you're creating content to grow your audience on YouTube, and you're running Facebook ads to bring leads in passively without you having to lift a finger because you're just spending money to get them. If you combine those things, you're going to have more leads than you know what to do with, and your business is going to grow, and then you're going to be able to start outsourcing, and you're going to have more freedom in your life and all of the things that you want. Now, the big key to all of this that I've talked about so many times is that you have to have conversations, and you need to learn how to do conversational sales, how to talk to people in the DMs, because when you start posting in those groups, people are going to start reaching out to you. When you start posting those videos on YouTube, they're going to find you on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, wherever it is that you hang out, and they're going to reach out to you for help. And you need to learn how to turn those conversations into sales calls. That way you can sell your program. So if you want to learn more about how to talk to people in a way that builds trust and gets them onto sales calls without leaving you feeling all slimy like a used car salesman, then you should check out my next video. It's called How to Sell in the DMs Without Feeling Salesy. And in it, I'm actually sharing the DM scripts that my company uses to book people on calls while building a pipeline of people that love us and can't wait to work with us.